This is an overview of the RISC-V Developer Portal. So for the RISC-V developer audience, we have three main developer persona that we've identified: the specification developer, the hardware developer, and the software developer. These different personas represent not just different developer audiences, but fundamental different engineering disciplines. The specification developers are fundamentally computer architects who have deep knowledge about computer architecture and can reason out the best reason to have how to design a vector instruction set or a matrix instruction set, or how to do trust zone at the chip implementation level. These people are largely theoretical and represent our current membership. For these people, we have our specifications, and we need to have an out-of-box experience explaining where resources are, likely pointing to the technical wiki, and then also having specific recipe-style instructions for how to do things like adding custom extensions. Hardware developers are people who are building physical hardware and care about the implementation where rubber meets road. These are people who are building out not just physical boards, but also procuring chips. They need to know where the register maps are for things, what hardware is available, what certifications they have, what profile matches which board, and what Linux distro runs on what hardware. These people are the ones who are usually electrical engineers, usually embedded systems designers, doing everything from assembly, typically operating in C, maybe touching operating system drivers up to like Zephyr and other RTOSes. They may also be overlapping a bit with the software developers, who are primarily application developers, primarily software engineers who care about how to get Linux running on a particular distro. We envision that likely software developers will care about the profiles and what flags they need to compile against those profiles, and then will be optimizing their application for that hardware. And so this is the different personas that we've got. Each one of these personas has an out-of-box experience, a series of tutorials, and then a references section. So let's take a look at them. Starting with specification developers, their Getting Started guide walks them through how to join and become a member. I suggest that we modify this a bit in the future. We also have guides on how to do custom extensions, Robert Rules of Order, the Golden Simulator, Profile Compliance, QEMU, and Spike. We probably need to do a few more of these. Then the specifications themselves, we've managed to take the priv and unpriv architectures and put them online as HTML. So if you click through them, you can go through them, and you can even search for things like the base instruction, and you can find that, and it'll go right to it. This is all very handy, and it's all cross-compiled out of our ASCII doc backend using eToro. Further, we have the hardware developers. Hardware developers, we need a bit more done here. Their out-of-box will likely be how to compile against their specific target. We also have one for software developers. Same thing, out-of-box experience, guides, reference docs. Further, we've got the device directory. This is an extension of the existing RISC-V Exchange. This allows us to easily find information about boards. We've made things searchable by tags such as ASIC and FPGA, via profiles, and you can search for devices by name or partial name matching. In each of these, you can either directly link out to it, like this one, which will link out to the website for the product, or we can have an internal markdown file that has more information. I envision these will have things with information such as Linux version supported, buy links to buy the boards, things like that. The envisionment here would be that each individual vendor would own said hardware and each page, so they would be responsible for keeping it up to date. We also have the IP core directory, which again is searchable by filters or via text, and this will give you IP designs that the ISA developer could use. And so, for example, if you click on one of these, it'll take you to the page for that chip design, and you can then get the core from them. You can filter by things that are open source and free, things that are not open source but are still free, and things that are commercially licensed. We also have the language that chips are written in, along with profiles. Further, there's also a developer blog. This didn't get launched by the time I was done, where you just drop a markdown file in the directory and it renders as a blog. We also have fully functional search that allows you to search across everything, powered by Kappa AI. And we also have links out to our main GitHub, Slack, YouTube, and other pages. This is the current state of things as I'm leaving it. I'm very happy with all the progress we've made, and I look forward to its expansion in the future.